Hey, I'm Weather, and this is my 2016 Ram Promaster, and I'm going to show you my build out. I'll show you the outside things first. This is 2016. It's a low roof model. We go around the side here. You can see my onboard, onshore power outlet. That was a good spot to cut it in at. Then up here I've got a vent near my sleep area so that I don't have sunlight coming in. I've just got fresh air coming in. And you can get one of these for about 12 bucks, 10 or 12 bucks. And then I put a screen inside there so we don't have any bugs coming in. And now this is the back. I got these little stickers for security. Smile, you're on camera. Open it up. So I work out of this, and I also camp out of it. So this is my work setup, and I've got storage over there. I got storage over there, but this middle part here goes straight through to the front. So in case I have to slide an extension ladder or pipe, I can just go ahead and I can do that. I can remove that stuff and put a ladder in. So that's the back. And I like the back wall because it blocks off the sunlight, and anybody looking in my windows, it's just good for privacy as well. Here I've got a flat screen TV antenna. Works great. I get about 30 channels. In the city I can get like 50 channels. In the country I might get 20 channels. So I've got that wired to go up front. And so that's the back. And here we go inside. So here is my build out. And I'll take you in here and check it out. I've just got two recessed lights. I got the other two, but I disconnected them because it was too bright. And I thought this is much nicer. One day I might hook them back up and put a dimmer switch in. But for now, it was just too bright, so I did that. I've got my roof fan, my fantastic fan. It's nice. It turns on automatically. If you lift it up, it'll turn on automatically. It's nice. And it's got 3 speeds. I usually just keep it on low. When cutting this in, I used some stuff from True Value hardware. I forget what it was called. Anyway, so here's the bed area. I made there's a little hatch, close that up. I made this little door to contain all my bed material because, you know, eventually, you know, I could use that as a back support and just to keep everything contained. You'll find that a lot of these build outs, they look good, but they don't have any containment for the bed, and so you're tossing and turning in the night, your covers start falling over. So this is why I built that, to keep everything contained. So here we got the bedroom area. I just put up a back tapestry and got a reading light back in here. It was a little too bright, so I put a little tape over it. I've got some padding from Harbor Freight that I put up. It makes this wall softer. This is also storage containers with a shelf for my clothes. Keep all this in the back here. I've got a little water bottle holder, so when I get thirsty at night, I got my water right there. Eventually I'm going to put a shelf along here, up along here, because when I lean up, I'm only leaning up to about right here. My head goes to about right there, so I figure if I put a shelf up, that's good. This I got in here for the winter. This is my vent from outside. As you can see, I got screen in there. And yeah, that's that area. So now you can see here's the storage underneath, and this is, I pull this out and I can slide the ladder straight through to the front. So that was nice. I had to think about that. I bought this at Walmart. It's a nice containing area. Put whatever in. This is over my wheel well. I just got one of these over my wheel well. And as you can see, I can use it as storage too. This I'm still working on. It's a little top drawer. Let me show you this. I got the cover coming off, but I just started making that last night. And what you want to do with your build out is every piece of wood, if you're going to stain it first, and then put a coat of polyurethane over it, because the poly protects the wood, keeps from getting moldy, keeps from moisture, and you want to just douse every part, the corners, the back, just douse every part of each piece of wood, every piece of wood you put in here. I didn't do that at first, but then I started doing it and I realized I need to do it on everything. But it's good. And then I've got a little storage on here for shoes and such. And so one day I could tear all that out and maybe put something over like half the door here, because all I need is a little space to get in, you know. So I could have, in the future, I could have something more to come over. I got this rug throw down because it's been pretty wet. I don't want to get my floor all wet. That was the main mistake I made with this van, was not getting the floor right, because I'm not a floor guy and I should have done something different. One day I can put over the floor some kind of vinyl or something, but as you can see where the line is going down, and I don't mind it so much. You know, I'm not a carpenter. It works for me. I'm not trying to do one of these massive fancy build outs. I'm just trying to get something that's functional and that looks decent. And so here, you know, this containers are full of tools and parts. You know, as you can see, I bought these at Walmart too. Eventually, I might build some cabinets underneath. I built these, you know, various items, and this is all utensils for eating and such. And I got this little hatch here. Eventually I'll put some like water containers in there, maybe get a gray water tank in there, something like that. Something to note on a lot of these doors opening, see, I got the cabinet hinges there, and then I got this little thing here from Home Depot, and it comes in a kit, this and this, and it really makes it nice to just close, keeps things closed. And if you'll notice, I got these little plastic dots that they make for such a situation as this, because my door before was slamming shut and it was loud. With the dots, it's a lot quieter, so having those little dots really does make a difference. So yeah, back here I've got my cell phone hookup, and then it comes through this hole here, and I can pull out a bunch, so at night I can be plugged in and surfing the internet. So these supports here, like right here and right here, and this tabletop, this is all hollow door, you know, like a bedroom door. Well, Walmart sells these, or not Walmart, Home Depot sells these, and they're blank. They're blank doors. And so you can cut them down, however, to fit your, you know, with this table saw, to fit your counter. And it just so happens that this was not coming over far enough with this, so I chopped off a little edge here, and it just happened to give me a hole. And I said, oh, I can use that hole for hiding a cord. Because I don't want electricity too close to me while sleeping because of the electromagnetic interference. Sometimes it happens. It keeps people awake. So it's just a plastic drawer from Walmart. I might replace that and build another box like I did here with this. And as you can see, this is full of food. And I also have my guts back here, TV stuff. I'll show you the electric later. I'm just going through this. And I just used scrap wood and painted it and just started making shelves. My upper cabinet looked pretty crappy until I put this nice trim on. So it made it look a lot nicer. You know, I work out of this as well, so I got screws and glue and patch. So one day I hope I'll just have it all food or other stuff. Got movies over here, you know. Handy wipes. These are huge for on the road. Always carry these Walmart handy wipes. And you know, because I don't have a official water set up, you know, with a sink and all. So those come in really. So these come in really handy. Then you got the paper towel roll. So to make up for, you know, cleaning dishes and such, I'll use these and these. And I got a mirror that I attached here so I can sit on my bench. I can sit on my bench and you know, comb my hair and such. I'm an electrician, so I'm ashamed of this, but I should have put a plug. I put a plug here. I should have put a plug over here. A lot of this was improvisation. So, you know, I improv'd as I went along. This is 1/4 inch board. Behind it is 1/2 inch plywood. And eventually, I might put a top on this because, as you can see, the paint, the latex paint is sometimes comes up. I put a heated pot here. That's what made that mark. But eventually I might put like something harder on top of this, just up here. And that'll, but it's been pretty good. It's sturdy enough, the hollow door. What I choosing a hollow door for supports and tabletop, it limits a lot of the weight. If I used a piece of thick board like this, it would be humongous weight. So to keep it light, I chose plastic containers with light wood. Here I got my TV. You know, that antenna in the back is attached to it, and I get about 20 to 30 sometimes 40 channels. And here I have my this metal door frame actually came with the van. So to make it look nice, I put 3/4 inch plywood because I knew I would have to. If you have something you have to screw into, you probably want to use 3/4 inch plywood instead of 1/2 inch plywood, because 1/2 inch plywood's kind of weak. But some places you can use 1/2 inch, like behind that 1/4 inch board. So yeah, I made this door. Just opens up to the front cab area. I've got it. At first, I started with this magnet, on the door. Keep it there. But then I realized sometimes the magnet doesn't hold, so I got this hook as well, and it keeps the door there while I'm driving. A lot of times I have a 4-foot ladder right there, and then I got a broom holder with a broom. These are ideas that'll help you make decisions in your build out. This here is a dry eraser board, so I can slide it over. It's a little it's a little stiff right now because we've had a lot of rain, you know, and from the driver's seat, I can see out the side window here. It's a little stiff, so when you go to cut these, you want to give yourself some room, so because all wood will swell up just a tiny bit when you've got a lot of moisture. So here's this metal track. I put it on this metal track. It's just two pieces of metal glued together and then glued down. And what I used with this was goop. I tried doing this with super glue, and a couple weeks later it fell off. But this has been like 9 months now with goop. I've got it screwed down as well, but some of it's not screwed down, and the goop stuff at Home Depot worked great. Just comes in a little package. And then same thing with the track up here. It's holding, and it's been holding forever. So that's my dry eraser board. It gives me a place to write reminders and jobs that I have coming up or that I'm doing. So that's nice. So here I put a $5. Actually, this is a LED light. I'm going to go over that later, though. I'll go over all the electric at once. So here is my fold-down table. It just folds down. It's got this little, you know, just held on by those. And so that's what that's like. And I just slide my foot into there because I was never using that side, so I just slide my foot into there. And a lot of times I'll have one of these, you see one of those? A lot of times those come in really handy, and I'll have it like right here, and I'll just sit there and watch TV, enjoy some food. And my TV is nice because it's got this thing that slides at different angles, so if I want to watch it from the bed area, I can re-angle it. If I want to watch it from my table, I can re-angle it like that. So yeah. And this is a low roof model, and I found this upper shelf. I didn't think I could put an upper shelf in, but it works with the low roof model. I'm 5'6", so I have to stoop just very slightly. You know, here but I can stand straight up pretty much. I just got to lower my head a little bit when walking around. So it's nice. If you're 5'7" or 8 or 9, you know, you might have to go like this, or you get the high roof model. It'll probably cost about $4,000 to $5,000 more dollars. But I didn't want the high roof model because I sometimes go to a lot of universities, and so yeah. Here I've got two storage. Well, let's see. We'll go through. I think we've gone through everything that I wanted to go through on this. Oh, here is the fridge. This is a Dometic fridge. It's nice. Got it running right now. Below here, I found I wasn't using the storage, so I bought a plastic container and got storage under there. So now we'll go through the electric. I made a mistake because I had this really long countertop, and so I thought it was too long, so I put this box in after the fact that I cut this recessed light in. So that was a mistake. That was just poor planning on my part. I didn't realize, you know, what I was doing at first. I didn't have it laid out. I changed things as it went along, so. But it ain't no big deal. I'm not trying to be perfect. It's my living area, so I don't care, you know. If it was something commercial that I had to sell, yeah, I would be concerned, you know, but I'm not worried about it. So anyway, let me clear some stuff out back in here so you can see what's going on electrically. So this worked out great because all my guts are back here. Eventually I'll clean up that wiring mess and make it nice and neat. but that's what my TV plugs into. And then the key part of this is I've got these two three-way switches right here, and when I want to go from the inverter to the onshore power, I just flip the switch. And then when I want to charge by my Genius charger, which is right there, the Genius charger, that charges my batteries. So I could charge my batteries by the Genius charger, or I could flip the switch and I've got the alternator charging it. And down behind the fridge, I've got a solenoid that turns on with a switch up top at the front cab. So yeah, so if you want the inverter power or the onshore, this way it isolates each power source. You don't want the power sources conflicting. So that was how that works. Right here, you can see that I just have to remove the shelf, but that's my low voltage panel with 12 volt fuses. So I've got my low voltage, my little low voltage panel with 12 fuses, and then my 120 volt panel with a couple breakers. And these remove, I made them removable so that if I ever have to work on them, I can. So that's those. That's the source of that. I'm an electrician, so electrical was easy for me. So right now I got everything charging by the Genius charger. This is an Edecoa inverter, and it's like the little isolated. This will also tell me if I have a light disappearing here. It'll tell me my battery is starting to get low. That's how I know I need to charge up my battery. And then down here is the inverter itself, right there. And so here are my batteries. I got two batteries, two universal 100 amp hour batteries in there. And there's a plug down there where I plug in my Genius battery charger. And I wanted the batteries on this side, the passenger side, to add some weight balance, since I'm driving over here and a lot of my weight is over this side. I wanted some weight on the other side to balance out the weight. So here I just got a little, I've had this forever. I just made that for me up front. So yeah, this is the build out. You know, I've got an outlet there. I've got an outlet back in here. I've got an outlet there. I've got a future wire in the wall taped off, just waiting for if I ever want to put an outlet there. I've got 12 volt here, and I've got this LED that I can plug in, and I can get all kinds of lighting if I want to throw a party or something. And then a regular 12 volt. And then I got the same thing over here. Where is that? Yeah, down here I've got the same thing. I got some 12 volt stuff plugged in right now. So yeah, it's not too rocket science. Anybody can do this if they get a little coaching. And this is 1/4 inch board. I got 1/4 inch board with like 1 inch insulation with. It's got that stiff board insulation with the metal backing. I forget what it's called. So it's all insulated. In the walls, I did bat insulation in bags. You can actually see one of the bags here. I just stuffed insulation in there, and I put them in little grocery cart bags. And because I didn't want the insulation floating around freely in the wall, wanted the, in plastic bags, and it's worked out well. It's nicely insulated. If I was up north, I might go with like a closed cell foam, you know. But I'm not way up north. I don't plan on ever going way up north and having to deal with, you know, minus 10-degree weather. And so eventually I'll insulate this door, do something with it. Right now it's just, I'm just leaving it as it is. I cook on this, and it's also a heat source. And some people freak out about having the tank inside, but I don't freak out. It's maybe 1 in a million chance this will blow up. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to live life. I'm not going to live in fear. And a good thing to remember is you don't want to have this burning all night. You might get some CO2 trouble, and maybe put a CO2 protector on your ceiling. But because I don't ever have this going all night, this is my setup, so I'm not worried about it. And it's worked out good. It's good heat. I've also got a buddy heater, and I found that to be too hot. Unless it's like 15 degrees, then I'll pull the buddy heater in here and have that running instead. But this works great for heat source and to cook my food, so it's been nice. So this is my build out. I don't know if I left anything out, but you know, under here I've got a bunch of waters. And so yeah, I bought this for 20 grand. Got tired of old vans breaking down on me all the time, so I went and splurged. And it had 12,000 miles on it, so it was pretty new. The thing about the polyurethane is it brings out the patterns of the wood, which makes it a lot nicer. Brings out the patterns and protects it too. Here's a metallic strip, you know, for stuff, and so that's on that. Yeah, over here I'm 5'6", so I've got plenty of room to sleep with full stretch. I think if you're like 5'10" or something, you might have problems. You know, getting a full stretch. You have to just bend your back a little bit to stretch your legs. I left about, I think it was like 13 or 15 inches, because I knew that's all I needed for my foot space with blankets. And it might be more than that. It might be 18 inches because of the foam. This is a foam mattress, 5-inch foam mattress. Works great. I'm so comfortable in it. Yeah. So I think if I had to redo this, I might make this piece right here down more, so that I could maybe put a shelf up there, you know, for more stuff. But it's been nice. I've been loving this. It's not too fancy. I'm not a carpenter, so not everything is, you know, perfection. You know, I don't have any crown mold here to hide little blemishes or anything like that. It's just something that I wanted to do to satisfy myself, and I'm not too, you know, I'm not too fancy of a carpenter, so you know, you can see a little crack in here, and, you know, and some wires. So yeah, most people are probably like me. They're not looking for this factory-made build-out, but they want something nice and to have a little craftsmanship into it. So this is my build-out. I'm Weather. I hope these ideas gave you some good tips on some of the things you might want to do with your build-out. All right, and fly, Eagles, fly.